My surname is Driscoll. It's a Gaelic word that dates back to 10th century Ireland. First from the county of Kerry, spelled Kerry, and then the clan later moved to the county of Cork, which is where a large population still resides today. It was initially preceded by an O, as in O'Driscoll, but that began to be dropped in the 17th and 18th centuries. Although that spelling still does exist, the one without the O, which is the spelling that I use, is still the most common. And you might recognize my last name from the grocery store. There is a company called Driscoll Strawberries. I wish I was related. They do sell some pretty awesome strawberries, but I'm not. I do get that question all the time. As far as literal translation goes, the information I found said descendant of the messenger, intermediary, or go-between, which makes sense to me when I look at this family crest because there's a ship in the middle, which is very representative to me of a messenger or a go-between, especially the go-between when you're in the middle of the ocean between one place and the next, delivering some sort of message or person, etc. My first name is Kerry, Kerri, which I mentioned is one letter different from the county that the Driscolls originated from. And I thought this was really interesting during my research because it wasn't something that was planned by my parents at all, but the way that it worked out, my name sort of comes full circle that way. The other literal translations I found for Kerry were dark and mysterious or dusky. I can't necessarily relate to those on a personal level. I feel like someone who tends to wear their heart on their sleeve. I don't feel mysterious, and I don't feel very dark either. Specifically, dark-haired one I found a lot. I have lighter hair, but how it relates back to my last name is cool, in my opinion. My middle name is Lynn, which also has Irish, Gaelic, and a little bit of English influence. And the literal translations of that go back to lake or waterfall, pond, some sort of body of water. And the research described that the family that originated the word Lynn was probably a family that lived near a body of water. Makes sense. So if you put all three of my names together, it's really, in literal translation, it's really dusky lake messenger, which I've now decided I wish was my first name instead of Kerry Lynn Driscoll. It's sort of fascinating to say and to picture, but it's just interesting to find out where all our names come from, the words that they originate from, how differently words have been translated throughout the years, and how a person's name used to be represented in this way, like a family crest. I don't think we place as much emphasis on names anymore. It's more of what sounds nice to us or cool or interesting, and it's not really so much what the names mean anymore. But it was a common theme in my research that the names typically came from something of logic or something that made sense, as in Lynn coming from a family that probably lived near a body of water. So I hope that you enjoyed this informative speech on my name, and thank you for listening.